Hey there, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So, hey, I'm reminded this morning just about how important it is that you just stay persistent. You know, when I drive around, I like this morning, every time I go by certain properties that I've been telling myself I need to follow up on. Uh, and every time I remind myself, it just reminds me that I should have done it last week or the week before, the week before. Now, some of these properties are people I've already reached out to, I've talked to, I've already made connections with, but I haven't been on my game as much. You know, life gets in the way. You got things that happen, business, kids, relationships, different things. Uh, but you got to, you got to, you got to make it a priority. You just got to make it a priority. Uh, so what's happening with me? I know I have not been so regular with you guys lately. I should be closing. Remember the deal? I was showing you guys a house I paid 105,000 for. There's another one I paid 155. 150 house sold for 395. It's gonna close here. It's supposed to close on the 14th. The 14th. So 5 or 6 days. And it's just about all paid off. So that'll be a nice chunk of money. And then the other one, which I meant to show you guys, I'm actually redoing the fireplace right now, which is kind of a good one. Just cosmetically. See, I've got a house here that's probably worth, I thought it was worth 450 to 550 is what I told you guys. Man, I'm starting to think it might be worth 600,000. And this is about a 3,000 square foot house. I bought it, I think, 15 years ago because it's almost paid off. I think I owe about $2,000 or $3,000 now on it, uh, and it's purely been paid off over a period of time, just on a 15-year loan. But unless I made it a 10-year loan, I can't remember. But bottom line is, there's another $500,000, right? And now that I will roll into a 1031 exchange. If you don't know what that is, it means that I'm going to get what we call an accommodator. And when I sell it, that money is going to go into an account where I never get to touch it. And then after it goes into that account, I have 6 months to redirect that money to go into the purchase of another property. And that's what I'll do. I'd like to leverage that, 500,000 or whatever it's going to be, isn't sold yet, uh, into a property that's maybe $1.5 million. And if you guys know how I operate, so right now I probably borrow the money at 4%. So if I buy something for $1.5 million and I put $500,000 down, I'll end up, I won't buy anything unless I make 7.5, 10% on it. So let's just say I make 8%. So I'll make 8% on the 500,000. That's $40,000 a year. And then on the other million that's borrowed, I'll make the difference of the loan 4% and my margin 4%. So I'll make another 40,000. So maybe another $80,000 a year coming in as a result of reinvesting this $600,000. And the reason I'm selling this property is because it's a piece of residential real estate. It does not bring a very good return in. The return, you'll find this, you'll get, when you can buy houses for $100,000, generally they're going to rent for $800 to $1,200 anyways a month. So that's just kind of like the minimum rent the house these days. But as your houses get more valuable, 200,000, 3, 4, 500,000, the rents don't go up proportionately, so they become a terrible cash flow investment. They just don't return enough. There's just not enough bang for the buck on the interest. So that's why it's great for making a chunk of money speculatively. It's gone up in value. I'll flip it, but now I turn it into something. Something I could buy multifamily, and I could buy commercial or office or industrial, and that's mostly what I do buy is commercial, office, industrial, because it's always valued based on return. The residential property, totally emotional, goes for the sky's the limit. People pay a lot for it, for the school district, for whatever the amenities are around. So anyways, but hey, mostly this is about persistence. I sometimes I get emails and stuff from some of you guys, and it's kind of silly. Not A lot of you guys are great. Don't get me wrong. Most of it's great. We all know each other from our interactions over the last year. But guys will call me and say, or text me, or text me, but email me, and they'll say, hey, I hadn't time. I got a question. I'm like, man, dude, that's in the videos. And they say, well, I really hadn't had time to really get into the videos. Listen, man, if you can't take time to watch the videos, don't expect me to explain it in an email. I cannot take time to write what I would say in a video in an email. So just watch the videos. So even me, I have to watch some of my own videos, and it keeps me back on track because even when I explain to you, I remind myself of the importance of what I should be doing. Like in this case today, God damn it, I got to get back on these people I've been contacting that I let time go by on. I need to get a hold of them again, talk to them again, stay in touch with them because that's where the deals are lost, not staying in touch. And I have another example. I was looking at 30 acres. I've been looking to buy something I can develop in about 8 years because my boys will be about 23 or 4 years old then. They'll be out of college presumably, and I figure we'll build 100 houses or something, and develop it out like that. Maybe they want to be developers. I think they should be. I think it's a good way. I've done a lot of development too. So I'm kind of planning ahead that way. Well, I had 30 acres, and they were willing to sell it to me for $750,000, 25 an acre. They felt strongly that it was worth 40,000 an acre, and I think that's probably maybe reasonable. But they had a need. They wanted a lot of cash, which is hard to get when you're buying land, and it wasn't immediately developable. Otherwise, it's easy to get. You can get. I sold property for 60,000 an acre, big one over like about 50 acres for cash, but it was ready to develop. When it's not quite ready to develop, you're not going to get that kind of cash, not get that kind of money either. But my point is, I let time kind of go by, and I really, in all honesty, it's not that big a deal. But they've got another offer now for 40 an acre, so it's $15,000 more an acre than what they were willing to sell it to me for. Now take that times 30, that's $450,000 maybe left on the table. So, anyways, not a big deal because there's always another deal to be had. But especially at that level, there's more of those deals out there than you know because they require so much cash. So it's not that big a deal. But anyways, I just want to tell you guys, comb your neighborhood, whatever. Knock on that door if it looks like something's dilapidated, or send a letter to that person that owns that property. If you don't have a lot of money, then what you need to do is you need to just kind of cherry pick. You go through a neighborhood. I mean, I can send 10,000 letters out and cover a couple of big subdivisions, or I can just simply drive the neighborhood and just make notes on different addresses of the ones that I know look like the most likely candidate that probably need a new owner. By maybe it's not being taken care of or it looks a little messed up. The other thing is I can comb through and look at the data, and I can see how long people have owned the property, and I probably want to send letters to people that have owned the property for a longer period of time because if somebody just bought it, obviously they're not going to be ready to sell it, and they've probably paid market anyways, and that's not going to work for me. So hey, that's all I'm going to say for now. I just wanted to check in because I haven't for a while, but please subscribe and share, and don't forget to get the app. I'm charging for the app now on the iPhone. Still, the app's still free on Android. So if you got an Android, you can go get the app for free. But if you've got the iPhone, you're gonna have to pay for it. Dude, I can barely read that, so I'm gonna have to come back to your. You know what? Whatever you just wrote me, do me a favor, put it in the comments because I'm driving and I can't really read and answer that. My eyes aren't so good right now. But if you would throw that question or whatever your comment was just now, put it in the comments below this video.